Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Axphyxiate and welcome back to episode number 7 of the ArkLife series. So while I was sleeping last night, some friends that we've got on the cluster actually went over and raided the North Ice Cave on the center, and one of my tribe mates went over and foundationed it off and claimed it for ourselves, since our friends had no interest in building there. So today, I'm going to be helping set up the North Ice Cave since it's a much better spot than the Mushroom Cave. The Mushroom Cave entrance is just so big that it's really easy to get stealth soaked and not even realize, and also the turret wall is just like, it's such a big area that your 100 turret limit or 150, whatever you can fit in there, is spread out over such a huge radius that it's not that great of a spot. I guess the main major defensive pro is that it's underwater and it's just annoying to get to, so people are kind of put off by that. So I've just transferred over to the center, and it looks like my tribe mates already set up the first wall. This was just to prevent other tribes from coming in and being able to compete us for the base location, and just make it so that we can't get wiped while we're trying to build up the main area of the ice cave. We've got the drop down point here and a bunch of large bear traps, so if anyone tries to drop a stego down or turtles or whatever down, they're just going to get bear trapped and then hopefully they just die to the turret wall. The turret wall's not looking overly thick or anything right now, but we do have a decent amount of ammo in here, and right now having more ammo rather than more turrets is like definitely the priority, and then give it a bit of time and we'll do some shit on the drop down and make this turret wall a bit thicker, get some tech turrets up, shit like that. And yeah, just like sort of beef it up a bit. So I've already lined up a couple foundations, and we'll just like foundation off this entire flat part up here. And then we'll just do like foundation support down below. And then this way we can just like layer off, or like do different levels for dino storage and shit like that. Now that most of the ground floor is foundationed off, I've started working on the war room. I've started doing the prep work for a cryofridge floor. So basically I've just gone up one wall, and it's a 2x2 square, and you just do that all the way around, so you'll have 8 cryofridge floors, and then you'll have like the one section in the middle. We'll have a transmitter on top of that, and then we're just going to have vaults sort of surrounding in like a C shape or a U shape. It's a pretty standard build, but I really like it. It seems very efficient and convenient. So yeah, let's get building. So whenever I'm building, I like using the ladder to make sure that everything's lined up properly. It just helps my OCD a bit, and just make sure that all the vaults or whatever else you're placing are nicely lined up. Unfortunately, I'm standing on hatch frames, so the surface is a bit uneven, which means that it's a little bit off, but I think it's close enough. So I've done the other sections, or the other sides of the vaults, and now we're going to do the second floor. So I just wall up, put a ceiling across, and then that way I can just place the vaults slightly overhanging on top, and that way you can access them from the floor underneath them. So I went ahead and placed the transmitter, but I was having an issue where you couldn't just walk underneath because your character was raised up on the hatch frames and you were just too tall to walk underneath the transmitter. So what I end up doing is raising the foundation below so that I can get a higher snap point for the double door frame, which means that the hatch frame that the transmitter is on is going to be like slightly higher, and then that way we should have enough clearance to just walk straight underneath it. So if you haven't raised a foundation before, all you need is 2 walls, a ceiling, and 2 pillars. So you place the walls like this, and then you put your ceiling across, and then you want to find the lowest snap point on the ceiling with the pillar. So not that one, but this one. And then you just put it into the foundation, if it'll place. There it goes. And then we'll just quickly pick up this foundation. Shouldn't break. Yeah, it should be fine. And then when you try and place your next foundation, you'll have a raised snap point, so you can see that that one's slightly higher. So now when I place the wall on top of this higher foundation, and then the double door frame on top of that, and then the hatch frame on top of that, it's just going to make the transmitter, you know, what, like 5 inches higher or something, which is enough room for us to walk underneath. I guess this could be quite complicated if you're not familiar with some of these building mechanics, but once you wrap your head around it, it's really not too bad. So here I'm just making sure that I get the tall snap point, because that's what I want for the higher hatch frame. So it looks like I've got it there. So yeah, now I can freely walk underneath it because it's slightly higher, which is nice. I just need to try and get the tall snap point here, just so that it looks slightly nicer. It doesn't actually matter, it'll support it either way. And then this is just the same trick that you can do with refining forges. And there we go, we've got the floating transmitter. Next up, I wanted to move our crafting area over to the North Ice Cave so that we can properly move into this cave and just get rid of everything over at the Mushroom Cave. That way it's all in one place, we don't have to worry about checking 2 tribe logs or anything like that. I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to do this to start with, but I figured that I would just build it adjacent to our war room. That way we don't have to move too far between the 2 areas, since a lot of the time we're going to be transferring stuff from the crafting stations to the vaults or to the transmitter anyway. So I figured it would be easier if we just had it all in one area. I quite like the idea of having like 2 lines of crafting stations. It just means that it's not like one super long line, and it just sort of like encloses the crafting room in and makes it feel a bit more like, I don't know, it just feels cozy, right? Obviously the way that I've built this wouldn't work on official, but for unofficial with the pull function and stuff like that, it really worked for us, so I quite liked the way it turned out. I forgot to record the finished product when I was building earlier, so I've just jumped into our live server and I'm just recording where we are now, so some of the stuff in here is a couple episodes ahead. But this is the finished war room. We've started putting some signs up for all the vaults, but we haven't quite finished it yet. We've finished the cryo-fridge floor you can see here, and then we've got the crafting room behind us. It's got all the fabricators and chem benches and forges like you saw in the episode. We've got some fridges down for fertilized eggs, med brews, veggie cakes, spare meats and berries and stuff like that. We've got some like drop-off crafting stations. We have a vault here for a new base that we were prefabbing. We've moved our tech replicator here, along with some dedicated storage on the sides. And then we've got 3 smithies here since we don't use it for that much stuff, other than, you know, crafting some metal structures or repairing flak or whatever. But yeah, that's basically the whole crafting area and war room. And that is the end of the episode as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy it at all, please consider hitting that like button down below, or hit the subscribe button to get notified when I upload new episodes. I really like how this whole crafting area turned out. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.